Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty video. Today's video, World War II coming out literally tomorrow night, and I want to take this time to reflect on another previous COD. This is what I've been doing for basically the past week because Black Ops 3, the life cycle is kind of done for the second year for right now, as well as Infinite Warfare, and everyone's pretty much hyped up on World War II, and I figured right before World War II, it would be a perfect time to sit back and reflect on some Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Let's go for 2,000 likes. If we could hit that, it would be absolutely amazing. I'm going to be talking about this game and giving, I guess for some people, like I said in my Black Ops 2 video, this might be a history lesson for some people, and other people gives them a chance to reflect. So Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, technically this game came out in, what was it, 2010 or 2011? I think 2011 is when this game came out, and in November, and this was a game that really took the COD series, well, it didn't really take it to another level, because right before this we had Black Ops 1, but I guess it did take it to another level because of the different stuff they added into this game, being the Moab. They had the Moab, which is the first game to have the Moab, even though we had the nuke in Modern Warfare 2, really wasn't the same as the Moab, because obviously a nuke was game ending. The Moab was also one that blew up everyone but didn't end the game. It was a lot of fun to go for, and of course specialist kill streaks and a lot of stuff in this game that should have been returned to previous games but really wasn't, and all that sort of stuff. So hopefully you guys will drop a like on this thing. I want to know your guys' opinions down in the comment section down below. I want to hear, where do you guys rank MW3 in your best Call of Duties of all time? For me personally, it is my #1 favorite Call of Duty of all time, but I'm sort of biased with that because I was in my Call of Duty prime years, I guess, that playing with my high school buddies, uploading YouTube videos. I was starting to get a little bit of success on YouTube when this game was in its prime. So of course I'm biased, and this game does have a lot of bullshit, and of course I know that better than anyone, I guess, because I've died off Moabs 2 Final Stand and Dead Man's Hand a bunch of times. But this game was definitely a very, very fun one to play, and I want to know where you guys rank it. So basically on these reflecting videos, we're going to start off, we're going to break it down into the first 3 categories, which are guns, maps, and kill streaks. We're going to break those down and give sort of ratings and talk about what made this game so successful and what made it so fun, at least for me personally. So let's go ahead and get started on that. The first thing we're going to talk about here is, of course, going to be the guns. As far as the guns, MW3 was definitely a top tier game. They didn't have any gun variants or anything like that. This was before all this, and by the way, in this gameplay I get off to like a slow start, but then I end up getting a Moab and winning this, and it's some nice domination. I played on this game like a couple months ago with a couple of my buddies, and it definitely is still fun in 2017. In Ground War, you do run into certain hackers, but in like Domination or 6v6 TDM, it is a lot of fun as long as you can find lobbies where you're on a 4-bar. Back in like Black Ops 1, MW3, BO2, if you're on a 3-bar, you really have like no hope. You're going to get screwed over, and you need to really have that 4-bar. So back to where I was at guns. Yeah, there was no gun variants. There was sort of proficiencies you could add in your class setups, and of course a lot of different attachments. The main proficiency I would use was basically like bling, I think it was called. It allowed you to use 2 attachments at once, and it was very, very effective. That's what I would use the most. But as far as the guns in this game, there was a couple guns that were super overpowered, so the gun balance was really off. It was basically the ACR and the MP7 that were the #1 and #2 guns, and the Type 95 and the FMG9 at the start of the game, but those ended up getting nerfed. So as far as the guns, there was a lot of guns that were really fun to use, and this game suited me because it was an SMG game, and I think World War II is going to be an SMG game as well, which I'm really hoping, because those are my favorite sort of games to play, ones where you can run around with SMGs and destroy people. Black Ops 3, I'd say, was sort of it was good for both SMG and assault rifles, and that's why that game was so good. IW definitely an assault rifle game, and MW3 was definitely an SMG game, and I'm hoping World War II is that. All the SMGs were fun to use, but the gun balance really wasn't there, even though the guns were fun to use. So I'll have to give it a 7.5 out of 10 for that, simply because the guns were fun, which is what it comes down to. I always loved the P90 with the silencer and the rapid fire, the silencer and extended mags. One of my favorite guns ever to use. Not one of the best guns ever, but it's one that just the sound and the iron sights and the reload animation, just everything about the P90 I absolutely loved in this game. Same with the MP7, of course. So a 7.5 out of 10. Guns were fun to use. The gun balance really wasn't there. And back when this game was in its prime, like 2012, 2013, they didn't really buff and patch and nerf guns as much as they do now in these recent Call of Duties, which is sort of a good thing they've started doing. Next thing we have to talk about here are the maps. And for MW3 on the maps, That's what made this game last so long for me, and that's what made this game so fun, is that the maps in Ground War were amazing, the maps in 6v6 were amazing. You had Hard Hat, Carbon, Dome. There was just countless amount of maps that were very, very... Seatown, of course, Bootleg, very, very fun to play maps. For maps in this game, it might be the best game ever for maps, at least the best boots on the ground game ever. It's either between this one, MW3, and BO2. So for maps, I pretty much got to give them... They did have a couple maps that were sort of lackluster. Bakara was one. I actually did like Bakara for Ground War, but for 6v6, it wasn't very good. They had a couple maps that weren't the best. Mission was one that was sort of poorly designed, but it's still fun to play, so it's sort of debatable. I gotta give them a 9.5 out of 10. Some of the best maps ever, and that's what made this game fun. It's because in certain CODs, like in COD Ghost, even in Black Ops 3, it's like, come on, please give me Nuketown, please give me Combine. And whenever you get anything other than that, it's sort of like, screw you, man. In this game, it's like, please give me Dome or Nuketown, or please give me Dome or Hard Hat, and then you see Carbon pop up or Mission, you're like, wow, these are very good. Even Lockdown, one of the best maps, I think, in Call of Duty, like, this game, the maps were, yeah, probably the best ever. 9.5 or a 10 out of 10. And then the last thing on the list is going to be kill streaks. And as far as kill streaks for this game, I'm going to go ahead and give them a 9 out of 10. No, I'll give them an 8.5 out of 10. Because basically how they did the kill streaks in this game is they broke it down into 3 categories. And I think this should have been used more in different Call of Duty games. It was used in COD Ghost again, but COD Ghost was a game that really had shitty kill streaks. They used a good template, but they had shitty kill streaks. So how they broke it down was Assault, Support, and Specialist. So your Assault kill streaks were fairly decent. They're your helicopters, your Predator missiles, your AC-130s, you know, that sort of stuff. Those were pretty fun to use. They weren't the best Assault kill streaks ever. They definitely didn't match up against Treyarchs, but they weren't the worst ever. The Support kill streaks were kind of messed up, because the Support kill streaks were ones where basically how they worked is that you could, using those Support kill streaks, you honestly, you dying, and I'm trying to get my point out here, and I'm literally stuttering like an idiot, but dying did not reset your kill streak. So in reality, it wasn't really a kill streak. Basically, as long as in the full game you got like 18 kills, it doesn't matter how many times you died, as long as you got those kills, you're going to get a stealth bomber. You're going to get advanced UAV, and a bunch of stuff that really was there for noobs and was completely bull, and I think support kill streaks should never be in COD. I think most COD should have Assault, and they should also have Specialist, and Specialist is what put this game over the top for me. It's, as you can see here, every time I'm getting a couple kills, I'm getting more and more perks, so it makes your class setups even more complicated, and when you hit 8 kills in a row, an 8 kill streak, or 7 kills with hardline, and you have Specialist set up, you get every perk and proficiency in the game, and it's basically like you turn on your absolute god mode, because you're running faster, your bullets are doing more damage, you have more range, you have every single perk, and it just was a super fun thing to play. I'm sure everyone remembers that feeling of that sound that pops when you get Specialist bonus. I would call it Specialist boner, because it was so insane, and that's what I would love about this game. I think Specialist and Assault kill streaks need to be in more CODs. Like, I don't know why World War II, Black Ops 3, these games should have Specialist kill streaks instead of just the regular non-lethals that we have nowadays. Non-lethals are fun, UAV, counter UAV, and hater, but it doesn't match up to that feeling of Specialist and stacking those extra perks and seeing your kill streak, you know, come to life right in front of you. Now, as far as things that held this game back, of course, there's a lot of good things in the traditional 3. We're very strong on this game, and it's definitely a top 5 Call of Duty, I think, for most people. One thing that was bad is there was bullshit levels were through the roof. Shotguns overpowered. Right, look at this guy. He's a support juggernaut right here. Support kill streaks and death streaks. The worst thing ever. MW2 and MW3, some of the best CODs ever, had death streaks, which are completely stupid and are pretty much for noobs only. Basically, if you die 3 or 4 times in a row, you'll have things like Painkiller from Modern Warfare 2 where you get extra health. In this game, if you die, I think 5 times in a row or 4 times, you get dead. It might even be 6. I'm not sure exactly, because I didn't really run it. You get Dead Man's Hand, which basically means when you get killed, you go down and you sit on your ass, and if someone shoots you again, you literally blow up and explode everything. So it's absolutely retarded. Those are stuff that held this game back. But I find that that's where Call of Duty struggles, is either there's games that are made pretty well and don't have a lot of bullshit, but they're boring and they get boring quick. Or there's other games that are super fun to play and people love to play and play over and over and over again, but then at the same time, those are the games that have the most amount of bullshit. Noob Tubes, MW2, MW3, all the stuff I just mentioned, all that sort of stuff. I love this game though, and I think it's one that I'm going to be really upset when they turn off the Xbox 360 servers one day, and I have to play this game on PC, which I do own it for as well. Drop a like on this thing, guys. Let's go for 2,000 likes. Like this video. I'm so hyped for World War II to come out. Let's get started on World War II. Smack that like button, sub for a cookie and a lookie, and I'm out. Peace. Have a great night, guys.